Welcome to Tidbit Talkin. Have some ideas about a fictional thing, each one featuring different levels of seriousness. Spoilers, here we go. This great Deku-Tree's knowledge regarding the Master Sword's capabilities must have something to do with him deciphering how one can read Fee's data after spending more time than any other previous mystical entity nearby mysterious pedestal resting place Hoopla. Basically, he figured out Magical Blade Gal's programming language after watching her perform software updates one too many times. Dude must get really bored sitting around forever. He probably just wanted a hobby to relieve stress, especially with all the annoyances his Korok children bring about. On a related note, Fee most likely taught Link all those songs he hums while cooking. Kinda still somewhat connected, if only with regards to Skyward Sword being everything's beginning. Sheikah and Gossip Stones occasionally mutating in a sorcery power involving sort of way could have been what initially created the Goron species. Ganon being awake now is what allows for the creation of full-on phantoms instead of just mere blights. Both things, of course, being a side effect ability whatever that comes from being born due to eternal rebirth hate curse bullcrap. Also, Gloomhands could very well be simplified clones, focused on minor tasks like stealing gear from dead heroes and stashing away because the image of those who've defeated him in the past just causes way too high pissed-offness levels. One last thing about this, the ghostly evil Zelda was almost definitely made to interrupt hero development quest progress from a combination of dark survival instinct and pure spite that stems from ill feelings generated by forgotten battles with past elf swordsman incarnations. That's why she focuses not only on craft or prevents main dungeon completion type what have you anyone opposing her master would have to tackle, but also does things like seal off side quests whatnot, such as those clothing enhancing great fairies, which only a easily distracted perpetual do-gooder like those various past links would partake in. The champion Marin in 2 of those 3 timelines must have even worn this mask while going on her journey. That windfish deity she serves must have made this armor set based on dreams he had of a history where a more typical hero saved him. This game's lackluster connection to prior entries, including its direct predecessor, Breath of the Wild, are probably caused by an extremely distant past located someone using a Triforce wish for erasing all knowledge which could lead people towards finding said artifact in an attempt to never have any Pig Demon King types causing too much chaos ever again. This would result in a copy of the world being created far above normal surface places, and all of the lands becoming those subterranean depths, following a particularly hard to recover from Dark Age. To help obscure things even further, an idly efficient supernatural tech wizard species with ambiguous characteristics would get created that can conveniently cause almost as much crap to happen as the aforementioned divine tool. Things would even go as far as to make them tie all different tribes together under one origin myth set, instead of individual region-specific entities like Volvagia and or Lord Jabu Jabu being around to stimulate folks' minds enough for further research-related expeditions. Someone getting too curious might uncover stuff about power, wisdom, and courage after all. Better to keep all things part of the glorious and not at all horribly pretentious Zonai. One final bit about all that. Their purpose as legendary distractions is so great that their junk showing up in modern day made basically absolutely everyone not care about Sheikah tech anymore, which apparently went through some sort of blue glowy teleport harmless self-destruct sequence thing after a certain calamity no longer needed attending to. Anyway, Master Koga getting trapped and fiddling with gadgets underground must be what altered Hyrule Castle's structure enough to open up those tunnels that end up at mummified Ganondorf's location. All those actions would of course been caused by a magical urge installed within him by his evil god dude that could only get put in once he got in some kinda demonic influence range thingy. Hence these events taking a few years to get into gear. Back to nonsense from a couple ideas back. This story's inevitable paradox causing time travel shenanigans all must also be part of the heavily mysticism caused fact-destroying automatic event bunk. This all getting started when the normally heavily tied together Big 3 get close enough to trigger buried soul connection info that might make truth magically return, necessitating a particular zombie arm prop's horrible butchering of even more history by warping Zelda away. Link's body gets decayed like a weapon when no other living creature suffers a similar fate because his frequent use of life force-powered sword beam junk has let this spell get him on a horrifying technicality. Oh, and this must all be caused by Girahim's essence hacking his fellow weapons in a malevolent manner. These not glowing wrist paintings must have been forced upon some new ancient people as a distraction from the true tri-indicators which should show up on the worthy one's hands via ethereal laser shenanigans. Mineru was consulted regarding this strange tech because she's traveled the world more than anyone and thus would know if it was just something from another nation. The Secret Stone can't amplify Zelda's light because it's actually Hylia's power and thus predates this newer nonsense. It's more or less a magical software incompatibility thing going on. The Gerudo of these late ages must have evolved great eyesight in order to survive all those sandstorms they constantly experience. Hence Ganondorf being able to see the small secret slab getting activated for that holy Death Star being deal. There were only ever 5 Zonai. The other 3 ate some rock relics after their true history-destroying roles were fulfilled, so cover-up crap could resume without a hitch. Dude doesn't really like the term hero because it reminds him of the legends he was created to make folks forget about. Granted, he's not actually aware of his purpose or anything. hence him being able to get persuaded by her talking about Link's awesomeness. They literally can't comprehend his true strength because the new rules prevent them from grasping accurate past whatever. This species can seal Demon Kings because it was formed from more or less the same processes used to create a certain evil banshee sword's guiding spirit. Speaking of which, an unaware mystical princess can easily send the Master Sword through tremendous time lengths but struggles with herself because Fi's supercomputer brain can perfectly remember everywhere it's been. Zelda unconsciously hurled said blade through time because an inaccessible part of her brain knew it must provide direct inspiration in order to trigger thoughts regarding mindlessness causing transformations being necessary. Basically, something thematic junk involving instincts knowing things before main mentalities. What Mineru is studying for her is how long the metamorphosis will take, on top of junk about possessing a computer. On that note, in addition to not reaching her robot first, she stows away in the pad so it can be ensured the contained info doesn't get corrupted before reaching Link. Lady Light's status as a goddess's latest incarnation is what grants her enough control of a dragon form to do things like properly reshape Fi's housing. The weapon and its essence were both beings originally created by her, after all. That thing's energy won't run out while facing Ganon because fulfilling the sword's original purpose lets its magic override current rules regarding nothing lasting long. Rules which of course were implemented on a physical law level as per that aforementioned magical mandate that hides all true history stuff. Miss Mecha would use that fallen rebel to supplement her Robo-Fist, thus making her mostly responsible for clearing their path later on in the final battle. This game's Gyptos must be Ganon loyal Gerudo of his home historical period that got revived but not restored like him later. They're given a classic enemy's name because older entities like Kome and Kotake had deeply soul-buried memories regarding ancient mummification processes that made said title feel right for some reason. That health bar interface screw is because he's capable of defying current status quo crap to almost the degree of destroying and restoring old world functions. Mineru must have warped everybody away following him getting dragged out by testing a prototype copy of the Purr Pad inside her suit. Many vulnerable points show up on the Demon Dragon because Demise's curse is rejecting a new body it didn't intend to reincarnate into. The ability to restore Zelda is gained as Link destroys Ganon's super-sized secret stone because its very shards amplified his innate power of never giving up on his goal. Even with the evil it was sealing gone, Hyrule Castle never falls because the Yiga clan's leader installed junk which makes it stay upraised like that forever. Endings are a pain, but all of you are fantastic. See ya.